Hey there, I'm Luke, the Hard Times guy. Just going to take off today and see if I can wrap this thing up about our Cherokee, North Carolina visit, or probably more accurately the Maggie Valley area visit. And I don't know, get some talking done about comfort zones again, and doubt if I get that part of it wrapped up, but whatever happens, here I go. I wanted to go to Cherokee because they were having a World Series of Poker event there, and I like to play poker, and I hadn't played tournament poker for a long time, and I was kind of wanting to get back into that, or try it a little bit, and I like those World Series of Poker events, so I thought that'd be a good way to do it. And I was working on stretching my comfort zones. I'm gonna try not to bore you too much with talk about poker, because if you either love poker or you don't, and if you don't, you're not too interested in it. And even if you do, you may not know what I'm talking about, because people have all kinds of different views about poker. Some of them think it's gambling. Some of them think it's a game of skill. There's a little bit of gambling in it, but my line of thinking is it is a game of skill. If you don't have any poker skills, I welcome you to come play with me all the time, and you might change your mind, because if you don't understand the game and understand the skills behind it and understand the math involved in it, you're going to lose. That's just all there is to it. I don't care how lucky you are. But let that go, and let's talk about comfort zones. I played poker for, I don't know, from the time I was a young man till I was still young to middle-aged man, and I quit playing for about 30 years. When I was around 30 years old, my dad convinced me that poker was bad for my Christian witness. So I just quit playing. Didn't play for about 30 years, and then I finally, two things were going on. One was my dad had passed away, so it wasn't going to bother him anymore. And I noticed that a lot of the things that he liked to do that were bad for his Christian witness, he still went ahead and did them after he, I shouldn't even said that, but I decided that I'd start playing poker again. So when I did, poker wasn't like it was when I had quit playing. There was a new game called Texas Hold'em that everybody was playing. I didn't know how to play it, so I got me some books and I started trying to learn something. And one thing led to another, and I've got a library over there with about 40 books in it, about all different kinds of things about poker strategy and poker games and this, that, and the other. And I got a whole lot smarter about it than I used to be. But still, it's a game that changes all the time. The computers and the internet have changed it dramatically over the last 20 years. That's about how long I've been playing, since I started again. And if you don't keep improving, if you don't keep changing, if you don't keep up with what's happening with the game and what the way that it's changed, and the theories about how to play the game have changed, and the work that they've done, the research with all these hundreds of thousands, millions of poker hands that they can look at and analyze. If you don't keep up with that, you've fallen behind. And poker is, especially in tournaments, is like that too. At any rate, I was reading in one of my newer books, and I read about it online all the time, about the changes that have been made, especially in tournament poker. And I realized that my game that had served me well for a good period of time needed to be improved. The problem with what needed to be improved was I was uncomfortable with it. I didn't like doing it that way. I was more conservative than that style demanded that I be, and less aggressive than that style demanded that I be, and I was, it made me uncomfortable to do that. So I'd been working on it and doing mental exercises and studying charts and looking at examples and uh, had a lot of things that I needed to do that I was uncomfortable with. So I was going to go there and work on these things that I needed to improve and stretch my comfort zone in those areas. Now, I'm just giving you this example because this is an example that happened to me recently. Stretching your comfort zone is something that you ought to do all the time, on purpose, with a plan, and then with some analysis about the outcome of it, what you did well, what you didn't, whether it proved what you were trying to improve or it didn't. It's a never-ending process, but we don't get better staying in our little comfortable place and not venturing out in life and meeting life where it is and dealing with it where it is. Stretching your comfort zone is something that you should continually work on because you have to do it to improve in whatever endeavor it is you're endeavoring to do. I mean, if you're uncomfortable talking with a young lady, then you need to get out there and learn how to talk to a young lady if you're a guy. Or a girl, whatever you are. If your interpersonal skills of talking and meeting people and finding out about them and sharing your interests with them and making friends or making acquaintances, if you're weak in those areas, shame on you. Because the old Nike slogan, I hate to mention Nike for anything because I got a thing about Nike and China and everything made in China and everything associated with Nike, but they had a slogan that said, just do it. That's a good slogan because you can't get anything done if you're not willing to try. And that's what stretching your comfort zones is about. And I went to Cherokee, that in mind. And I'm going to tell you that it worked for me. I wanted to play in 2 tournaments. I wanted to play in the senior event. Then later on in the week, I wanted to play in a $500,000 guaranteed prize event. That was a 3-day event. And I wanted to do both of those things. I wanted to try out some new things that I've been working on. And in both tournaments, the things that I was working on improved my results, improved my game, improved my ability to play. And I actually got myself into a position early in both of the tournaments I was in that was where I wanted to be, how I wanted things to go. And I'd gotten to a position both times where I was where I wanted to be. My plan was working. But anytime we're making changes, anytime we're working on anything in our lives, we can't just abandon everything else that we've learned that's right and true and good. We've got to make it all work together, and that's where I failed to negotiate what I was trying to do, and consequently was unsuccessful. I got myself in trouble and ended up squandering what I had achieved with my new methods by forgetting some of my old methods too that worked well. And so in the first tournament, I got really, really close to the bubble, to the place where I was going to make money and be able to continue on. And I made a mistake that the old Luke wouldn't have made. It was the guy trying to become the new improved Luke that made it. And that cost me, and I exited from the tournament. Also had a bit of bad luck before they finally put me totally out, but still, that's what happened to me the first time. And then in the second tournament, I entered pretty much the same thing again. What I was trying to do, how I was trying to improve, was working for me really well. But it cost me in thinking about that and the way I was trying to play, I forgot about some of the other things that you have to think about. And this young fellow with his hat on backwards, he was able to take advantage of me and use my newfound aggression against me until I was trapped and unable to escape, and squandered a lot of hard work that had got me in a very good place, and probably would have got me into the past the money bubble in that tournament too, had I not played this one hand. Not that I played the hand or that I shouldn't have played, but I should have been aware of where I was at. And a lot of you don't understand that. What I want you to get from it is we have to have a plan. We have to work. We have to experience success and failure and recognize how it all works together anytime we're working to expand our comfort zones, to stretch our comfort zones. And it's not just a poker thing. It's everything in our life is like that. So you got something in your life that's not working like you want it to, start thinking about different ways that you could be approaching it. And if you're uncomfortable with those ways, then you need to start getting comfortable with them, or find a way to deal with whatever it is that's getting in your way, to where you can have that life experience that you want. I'm going to leave it there, and that's all I'm going to say about Cherokee and my poker playing.